Hi, I'm Maggie. I'm a 32-year-old mom living in suburban Chicago with my husband Tom and our 3-year-old daughter Emma. Life was pretty normal until my sister Rachel decided to show me what she called real parenting. "Emma, sweetie, come eat your lunch," I called from the kitchen one Tuesday afternoon. My daughter bounded in, her blonde curls bouncing. "Mommy, I want crackers." "You need to eat your sandwich first, okay?" Emma's face scrunched up. "No, crackers now." "Emma, please. You're too soft on her, Maggie." Rachel walked into the kitchen, her arms crossed over her designer blazer. My older sister always looked like she'd stepped out of a business magazine, even on casual visits. "She's 3, Rachel. I'm handling it." "Are you, though?" Rachel pulled out a chair, sitting down with that look she always gave me, the one that said I was still the baby sister who didn't know anything. "When I have kids, they'll learn discipline from day one." Tom entered the kitchen, loosening his tie. "Hey, everyone. Rachel, didn't know you were stopping by." "Just checking on my baby sister," Rachel said, her smile tight. "Someone needs to." "What's that supposed to mean?" I asked, helping Emma into her high chair. Nothing. Rachel watched as Emma threw a piece of sandwich on the floor. "See? This is what I'm talking about. Maggie, you need to be firmer." Tom and I exchanged glances. "Thanks for the parenting advice, Rachel, but we've got this." Over the next few weeks, Rachel's visits became more frequent. She'd show up unannounced, always with comments. "Emma shouldn't be using a sippy cup at her age." "You're still carrying her up the stairs?" "She has legs, Maggie." That timeout lasted maybe 30 seconds. No wonder she doesn't listen to you. "Rachel, I appreciate your concern," I said one Friday evening, trying to keep my voice steady. "But Tom and I are Emma's parents. We decide how to raise her." Fine. Rachel held up her hands. "I'm just trying to help. You were always the sensitive one." The breaking point came the following week. I'd gone downstairs to grab Emma's laundry from the dryer. When I came back up, I heard Emma crying. Not her normal fussy cry, but a terrified scream. I dropped the laundry basket and ran. What I saw made my blood freeze. Rachel was at the top of the staircase, holding Emma upside down by her ankles, dangling her over the stairs. My baby's face was red, tears streaming down her forehead, her little arms reaching desperately for something to grab. "Rachel, what are you doing?" I screamed, racing toward them. Rachel pulled Emma back and set her down casually. "Relax, Maggie. I was just teaching her a lesson about consequences." I scooped Emma into my arms, her little body shaking as she sobbed into my shoulder. "Are you insane? You could have dropped her." "But I didn't. See? She's fine. This is what I mean about being too soft. Kids need to learn." "Get out! Maggie, get out of my house right now!" My hands trembled as I held Emma tighter. "You just held my daughter over the stairs." Tom came rushing in from the garage. "What's going on? I heard screaming." "Your wife is overreacting," Rachel said, grabbing her purse. "I was just showing Emma what happens when you misbehave. It's called tough love." "Tough love?" Tom's face went pale as he looked at me. "Maggie, what did she do?" "She held Emma upside down, over the stairs." My voice cracked. Tom's jaw clenched. "Rachel, leave, now. You're both being ridiculous. I would never actually drop her. Now!" Tom's voice boomed, something I'd rarely heard. "Get out before I call the police." Rachel's expression hardened. "Fine, but don't come crying to me when Emma turns into a spoiled brat because you two don't know the first thing about discipline." She slammed the door on her way out. I sank to the floor, still holding Emma, rocking her as she cried. Tom knelt beside us, his hand on my back. "Mommy's scared," Emma whimpered. "I know, baby. I know. Mommy's here now." Tom looked at me, his eyes filled with anger and concern. "Maggie, we need to do something about this. She endangered our daughter." I nodded, unable to speak past the lump in my throat. My own sister. How could she? The next morning, I called my best friend Sarah, who worked as a family therapist. "She did what?" Sarah's voice rose an octave. "Maggie, that's not discipline. That's child endangerment." "I know, I know, but she's my sister, Sarah. What do I do? You need to document this. Have you taken Emma to the doctor? We have an appointment this afternoon. Tom was on the phone in the other room. When he came back, his expression was grim. I just talked to my brother Mike. He's a lawyer, remember? He says we need to file a police report and possibly get a restraining order. A restraining order? Against my own sister? Maggie, she dangled our daughter over the stairs. Tom's voice cracked. What if you hadn't come upstairs when you did? Before I could respond, my phone rang. Mom. Maggie, what is this I hear about you kicking Rachel out? She called me in tears. Mom, did she tell you what she did? She said she was trying to help with Emma's discipline and you overreacted. My stomach dropped. That's what she said? Mom, she held Emma upside down by her ankles over the staircase. She could have killed her. Silence. Then, oh, Maggie, I'm sure it wasn't as bad as you think. Rachel loves Emma. She would never… Mom? I saw it with my own eyes. Emma was screaming, terrified. Well, you know Rachel has always been intense. Maybe she just got carried away. Have you tried talking to her? Talking to her? Mom, this isn't about a disagreement. This is about my daughter's safety. You're being dramatic, sweetheart. Rachel is your sister. Family forgives family. I can't believe you're defending her right now. I'm not defending anyone. I'm just saying maybe you should hear her side before you do something you'll regret. You know how Rachel gets when she thinks she knows best. I hung up, my hands shaking. Sarah came over that afternoon while Tom took Emma to the doctor. We sat at my kitchen table, and I showed her the video from our security camera that I'd discovered that morning. Rachel had held Emma like that for almost 15 seconds before I came upstairs. Maggie, you need to show this to the police. Today. My mom thinks I'm overreacting. Your mom is wrong. Sarah grabbed my hands across the table. Listen to me. I've worked with families where someone ignored warning signs like this. It never gets better. It escalates. But she's my sister. And Emma is your daughter. Who are you protecting here? That evening, I met with our neighbor, Mrs. Chen, who had been outside when Rachel left. I heard the shouting, Mrs. Chen said, her elderly face creased with concern. That woman looked furious when she stomped out. Is everything okay? Mrs. Chen, did you see Rachel arrive that day? Yes, I was gardening. She parked in front of my house. Did you hear anything from inside? Any crying or screaming? Mrs. Chen nodded slowly. I heard Emma crying, very upset crying. It worried me, but then it stopped, and I thought maybe she was just having a tantrum. Would you be willing to make a statement about what you heard and saw? Her eyes widened. A statement? Maggie, what happened? I explained everything. Mrs. Chen's hand went to her mouth. Oh my goodness. Yes, of course I'll make a statement. That poor baby. Tom returned with Emma, who had a clean bill of health physically. But the doctor had noticed she seemed anxious and recommended we watch for signs of trauma. That night, after Emma was asleep, Tom and I sat in the living room. Mike sent over the paperwork for a restraining order. He said quietly, We need to file the police report first thing tomorrow. Rachel's going to lose her mind. Let her. She nearly killed our daughter, Maggie. I don't care if she's your sister. I don't care if your mom thinks we're being harsh. Emma's safety comes first. Always. I nodded, tears sliding down my cheeks. You're right. I know you're right. We're doing this together, okay? We're protecting our family. The police took our statement and the security footage seriously. Detective Morrison, a woman in her 40s with kind eyes, interviewed us thoroughly. Mrs. Chen confirmed she heard the child crying in distress, Detective Morrison said. Combined with your video evidence, we have enough to bring charges. We're looking at reckless endangerment of a child. 2 days later, Rachel showed up at our door. I'd been expecting this. You called the police on me? Her voice was shrill, incredulous. Your own sister? Tom stood beside me, blocking the doorway. You endangered our daughter. I was teaching her. God, you two are so sensitive. Emma's fine. Fine? I felt rage bubble up. She had nightmares for 3 nights, Rachel. She won't go near the stairs. She cries when anyone picks her up. Kids are resilient. She'll get over it. You held a 3-year-old child upside down over the stairs. My voice shook. What part of that seems okay to you? Rachel's expression shifted, became pleading. Maggie, come on. I'm your sister. I would never actually hurt Emma. I was just trying to show you that real discipline works. You know I love her. Love? I laughed bitterly. That's what you call love? Look, I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry, I went too far. Can we please just forget this and move on? I'll apologize to Emma. No. What? I said no. You're not coming near my daughter ever again. Rachel's face hardened. You're really going to do this? Press charges against your own family? You did this to yourself. Mom is going to be devastated. Mom already knows. She thinks I should forgive you too. But I'm not going to. Some things are unforgivable. Sarah had come over for moral support and was standing in the hallway with our neighbor, Mrs. Peterson, who'd heard the commotion. Rachel noticed them. Oh, great. Got your little witnesses lined up? You're really going to ruin my life over an accident? An accident? Tom stepped forward. You deliberately held a child over the stairs. That's not an accident. I was making a point. You were being cruel, I shouted. And the fact that you still don't see what you did wrong terrifies me. You think you were helping? You traumatized my daughter. Rachel's eyes flashed with anger. You know what? Fine. I hope Emma does turn into a spoiled brat. I hope she grows up weak and pathetic just like you, Maggie. You were always the favorite, always got everything handed to you. Well, I'm done trying to help you. Rachel, Sarah started. Shut up. This is between me and my sister. Rachel turned back to me. You're going to regret this. When Emma grows up ruined because you couldn't handle real parenting, don't come crying to me. She lunged forward and I instinctively stepped back. Tom caught her arm. That's assault, Mrs. Peterson said loudly. I saw her try to attack you, Maggie. Rachel jerked her arm away. This isn't over. You think you can just destroy my reputation, my career? I work with families, Maggie. If this gets out, then you should have thought about that before you endangered a child. Detective Morrison's voice came from behind her. She'd arrived for a follow-up interview. Ma'am, I'm going to need you to step away from the property. Rachel's face went white. You actually called them? We're filing formal charges, I said quietly. And we're getting a restraining order. Stay away from my family, Rachel. The legal process moved quickly with the video evidence. Rachel was charged with reckless endangerment of a child and, after her outburst at our house, criminal threatening. The restraining order was granted within a week. The judge was very clear, our lawyer Mike explained over coffee. She's to have no contact with you, Tom, or Emma for a minimum of 3 years. Given the evidence and her behavior, I wouldn't be surprised if it's made permanent. How's Emma doing? Sarah asked. She'd been checking in daily. Better. We started her in play therapy with Dr. Williams. She's not as scared of the stairs anymore. Tom squeezed my hand. She asked about Rachel yesterday. Asked why Aunt Rachel was mean. What did you tell her? The truth. That sometimes people make bad choices that hurt others, and when that happens, we have to protect ourselves. Even from family. A month later, Mom showed up at our door. I almost didn't let her in. Maggie, please, can we talk? I let her in, but kept my distance. What is it, Mom? Rachel, she lost her job. The family services company she worked for found out about the charges. They let her go. And you want me to feel bad about that? I want you to understand the consequences of what you've done. She's your sister. She made a mistake. Mom, stop. Just stop. I sat down, suddenly exhausted. She didn't make a mistake. She deliberately endangered my child and felt justified doing it. Even at our door, she didn't apologize genuinely. She only apologized when she thought it would get her out of trouble. But she's family. So is Emma, and I choose my daughter over someone who would hurt her, family or not. Mom's eyes filled with tears. I raised you girls better than this. Did you? Because you taught Rachel that she's always right, and everyone else is wrong. You taught her that her way is the only way. And you're still doing it by defending her instead of acknowledging what she did was wrong. I never said it was right. But you never said it was wrong either. You asked me to forgive her, to move past it, to think about her feelings. You never once asked about Emma's feelings, about her nightmares, about how she flinches now when people reach for her too fast. Mom stood up, her purse clutched to her chest. I can't choose between my daughters. I'm not asking you to. I'm asking you to acknowledge reality. Rachel hurt Emma. Rachel showed no genuine remorse. Rachel threatened me when she faced consequences. Those are facts, Mom, not opinions. She left without another word. 2 months later, Rachel tried to contact me through a mutual friend, begging for a chance to apologize. She says she understands now what she did wrong, Kelly relayed over the phone. She's in therapy. She wants to make amends. Tell her I'm glad she's getting help, but my answer is no. Some bridges, once burned, can't be rebuilt. Maggie, don't you think... Kelly, I love you, but this isn't up for debate. Rachel endangered my daughter. She's made her choices, and I've made mine. Emma's safety and emotional well-being come first, always. Today, Emma is thriving. She's in preschool, making friends, and the nightmares have stopped. Tom and I are stronger than ever, united in protecting our family. Sarah came over for dinner last week, and as we watched Emma play in the backyard, she said, "You did the right thing, you know." I know. It wasn't easy, but I know. Some people think family means tolerating anything, but family should be a safe place. You made sure Emma has that. I nodded, watching my daughter laugh as she chased butterflies. She deserves to feel safe. We all do. And if that means cutting out people who threaten that safety, even family, then that's what we do. Tom wrapped his arm around my shoulders. No regrets? Not one. Emma's happy, healthy, and safe. That's all that matters. Have you ever had to choose between family loyalty and protecting someone you love? What would you do if a family member put your child in danger? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more true stories about standing up for what's right, even when it's hard.